What's good, guys? It's your boy CS. My bad, my bad. I have not been around to do a YouTube video in a minute, but we shall get cracking because it is the season 2. Look for some type of leverage long or short. So I'll cover the tether dominance on Bitcoin, and I might just do the correlation with the stock markets and the indices, and then have a bit of a look at alts as well. So I'm going to try to jam pack everything in one video. So as you know, I'm going to it. We're going to the spider lines, baby. Here we go. Right. So spider line, we are currently smashing right through it right now. Again, this doesn't necessarily mean that we will, nuke down. It's actually hit, which is great. As you can see, we've always hit this spider line 1, 2, 3, and then we blasted through. And then obviously these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles as well have always hit. And then similar, we've always hit that. Remember, the historic support and resistance zones. Now, this one is also going through a massive support and resistance zone. So it's breaking through as we speak, which is not good. And really, the historic support zone has always been this white trend line here. So we could end up somewhere around here in the next week or two. That would not be healthy, but that's the pessimistic, bearish view that a lot of bears have had for a long while. And remember, it's always been lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. And then this is invalidated, is what they'll say, because this is really the lower high. And that's why I've always said, you always need conviction and you always need to pick a side. If you don't pick a side, you'll always just go, oh, I'm long, oh, I'm short, oh, I'm long, oh, I'm short. You'll never win that way. Whether you're long or short on a particular trade determines how successful you'll be. But you also need to flip your bias when it's time to do so. So right now, many of you who do candlesticks will know this is a shooting star formation, which is one of the most bearish candlesticks that you can really receive, especially on a weekly time frame. That's horrible. In terms of, we've just covered that descending broadening wedge. But in terms of the point of control, we've now back to back, we closed in this point of control, and now we're coming out of that point of control and coming down to this point of control. If we break this, then no doubt we come to this next level point of control, which is 58,708. And this is the zone that I really like, to be honest, because it coincides with numerous things. Now, before I go into that, I just want to look at the weekly EMA. And as you know, I love the weekly EMA because in a bull market, we always use it as support. And we have used it as support last week. Now, if we break through that, we're going to hit back into the 50 EMA, which is not healthy whatsoever for Bitcoin. And one thing I said at the start of the week was we came straight up on Monday and we tagged that rising wedge, the same rising wedge pattern that we fell out from. And this was why I was shorting. And I always, you know what? I'm so bad because I always take shorts and then I end up leaving too quickly. But as you can see, we fell straight out and the target hit perfectly as I measured it. Now, what I can see here is we've got a falling wedge pattern forming. So we've had 1 and then 2 retests all together. I know there's 3 there. And then we've had 1 and then a second one. And ideally, what I want to see in the next couple of days, if we do go down here, is another retest of this region. And then we come up, and then we come up, and then we come here, and then we see something, hopefully, like this. You know, it might go like that, and then bang, straight. Something along the regions of that is what I want to see. Now, as you know, the retest is always important. So if we do break through, retest, then bang, then we're off to the races. However, as many of you know, I don't just trade the breakout. I trade the bottom of the wedge pattern. Now, I don't mind if this breaks out of the pattern, because if this comes out and it comes down here, I'm going to be buying in this zone because it will wick up. It always wicks up. I've rarely, probably 9 out of 10 times, have I not seen something wick so far down where I can't buy it. And that's where the mentality is. If this is bearish, this is the bearish stance turning into a bullish bias, which I have. And again, I posted this yesterday or the day before, showing you about this rising, this falling wedge pattern, this one in the green, right? So this is what I'm looking at. I'm looking for a bounce. And as I did mention earlier, this coincides with the point of control, this yellow horizontal line, as you can see there. So actually, it's flipping into a good retrace area as far as I can see. That would be perfect. And again, even if we hit off this historic support zone, even if we wick down here, I wouldn't mind, because this is a historic support zone. It will just strengthen the bullish case. Now, just sticking on the bearish stance before I go on the bullish case, is we came out of this descending wedge, this falling wedge, and I've come out of it. And as you know, inversely correlated to the Bitcoin chart. Now, and as you can see from the horizontal zone, this is a massive weekly support zone that we've kind of like faded in and out with. And as you can see, now we're breaking out of it. And if it moves to 6.18. That is the next area that we need to be careful of. And remember this historic trend line that we've been bouncing off since, well, March. We've just not been able to break through it, unfortunately, for Bitcoin. So this could be a bit of a bloodbath week. It may not be. I don't know for sure. But if we do, we definitely come across the 7-8 levels and maybe up to 603 and 619, 618. So just need to be careful where Bitcoin's heading on the Tether dominance chart. And as you'll see as well, it's got a nice bounce off the 20 EMA and now going to test the turquoise 100 EMA. So remember, all of this is just a science behind it. I don't know where it's going to go, but from looking at the Bitcoin chart and seeing how we're coming down and how we've tested that falling wedge, I really like this pattern, and I'm looking for longs around here is where I'm looking for, ultimately. So yeah, keeping my eyes peeled. Now, as for the SPX, at all-time highs, Bitcoin is very much lagging behind. Very, very much lagging behind. The Dow Jones, again, probably going to post a all-time high today. And the Nikkei is still surviving, but you know what? It's nearly near its all-time high again. So, yeah, stocks in general are doing really, really well. So I'm surprised that Bitcoin is getting a bit of a bleed here, but it could just be the final retest before we finally go up. And if we zoom out, let's use a naked chart here. All we've done really is going to come and test the monthly low if we come here and we wick down. And then remember, there's 22 days left. If this comes down nicely within the next week here and we get a nice retest and then we pump up, fantastic. I'm not saying this is going to happen, by the way. I'm just saying this is the bearish stance. The bullish stance is obviously the stock market doing really, really well. But if Bitcoin does shit the bed like it is doing now, this is what I want to see, because it is profusely bleeding here. And if we come over to some alts, right? So if we come and check out this support trend line that I've had, as you can see, we've not come and tested it, which is at the 1 billion market cap level. If we come onto Brett, very similarly, we've got a white trend line there, but we've also got this historic green trend line. Now, I'm not saying we're going to go there, but just something to be wary of. If we look at Floki is near its blue trend line, right? And I feel like all of them have got the same trend line. Look at this yellow one. Remember when I called Moomoo back here and why I'm so excited to get into a Moomoo long? I really want Moomoo to come down here. You know what? While we're here, I'm putting an alert on. That's where I want to see Moomoo, right here. If I see Mumu in this area, this zone, look at the demand here of how many people are buying. All of them got the same trend line. Floki, Brett, Popcat. It's only a little bit more damage that we need. I mean, Moggs is all the way down here, so it's pretty far down. And you know what? Mother, I've not really checked, but I guess it would be somewhere around this region. But it's currently in weekly support right now. Casper is nearly there. See how all of them are very, very much similarly near their trend line of justice, is what I'm going to call it. That's what I'm looking at. And I guess if I did a reef one, it would be around here. Somewhere around there. Same with like Ponky. If I did one on Ponky historically, it'd probably be around here. So a lot of them got the same trend line. All of them practically got this very similar trend line, right? And that's where I'm basically looking to get the buys in to see if it has a massive support. Look, Wojak went 33% yesterday and is down 20%-ish today. So a lot of them are getting a paste in. I think a bit more blood, just a bit more, is what I want to see. And then around that region, like I've just shown you, that falling wedge region, if we get anything around here, I'm taking it. I'm absolutely taking it. This is an area for me to long. Definitely an area for me to long here. This is where I want to be, and this is the hold. And this will be basically October from there on, if the bullish thesis comes to fruition. Now, if I go into my wave patterns, because I know a lot of you like looking at this, wave patterns have got a hell of a lot to go through, man. Like on the daily, man, there's a lot to come through before we go like that. And then we get the divergence, right? Then we get a divergence like that. See how there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we'll get one here. But right now, we need it to go down a bit more. We need Bitcoin actually to come down a bit more. If I look on the 4 hourly, we're coming down nicely. We'll probably post a divergence around here, which will then indicate that Bitcoin's ready to go. If we get to the 58k levels, which I want to see, I really do want to see that. It will be very positive actually for Bitcoin. Even on the 1 hourly, this is coming up. Wouldn't mind something like this, go down and then come back up and then create the divergence. Once it creates the divergence, then you can enter your long. And that's why I'm thinking, is everything coming to fruition here? Is the stars aligning? If it is, we're in really good stead here. And on the weekly, we've actually got a massive divergence. So the bullish case is still there, that this is going to round over like that. Like if I take this weekly and we have massive wave patterns to the upside, like we can move very, very quickly. That will take us to like August next year. That massive wave pattern, right? So I am obviously still bullish long term. Long term, I'm still bullish. Short term, I'm a bit bearish, and I have been bearish. As you know, I took that short right at the top. So how does CS always get it right? Well, I just see things on the chart. And truthfully, that is the rising wedge. I think Alex caught it. I saw it as well. Once I saw that rising wedge, I just knew, boop, I'm shorting here. I'm not shorting the breakout. Fuck the breakout. I want to short up here. If it takes me out, then it takes me out. But at least I'm catching all of this. It's so much better and easier and more fun to catch gains when you catch the bottom of here. Like if this comes down here, best believe I want it to wick out of it, to pretend like, oh my God, it's going to go so much lower. And then I'm going to long anywhere that comes out of here. And that's where we want to be ultimately. So yeah, I am looking for longs. I do want Bitcoin to get a bit more of a paste in, especially since Mexi has fucked all the UK leverage traders up. So we're having to navigate the waters elsewhere and find a home. Shout out Blowfin and all the other ones. But yeah, guys, that's basically it. A lot of them are getting a good slap today. I do want them to get a further slap and then we can re-enter longs. But at the same time, the bullish thesis is SPX, Dow, all at all-time highs. Bitcoin will follow in due course. And I hope this is just an imminent, quick 1 to 2 day bloodbath down here. I really do hope. So that we can catch better gains. But if not, we're going to come down here And we're going to fight within this point of control now. So this point of control is going to be at 60.8k. And if I look at the EMA ribbons, we've blasted through all the lower time frame ones. And we're now blasting through the turquoise and the orange 50 and 100 EMA. So at the moment, we have lost that. By the end of the day, that doesn't necessarily mean we won't lose it. But we have lost it at the moment. And really, we could find support on the 200 EMA. Maybe. But really, what I'm looking for is this pattern. I'm looking for that pattern. That's what I'm looking for. If it comes down here, I'm going to be buzzing because I know what will ensue. We'll come back up here and we'll break out. Or worst case scenario, we might come down to a lower level. But it'll just give you another opportunity because what you can do is by the time we get there, stop loss to entry, chilling. If it comes back down here, let it go, let it go, let it go. And then we get in at the next long here. And that's it, guys. A lot of people trade the breakout, you know, like round here and blah, blah, blah. But really, you don't really catch all the fun. And plus, this could be a fake out. What about if it comes back down? Do you know what I mean? A lot of retail traders like to trade breakouts. I personally trade the actual chart pattern itself. That's just me. And like I said, if you caught that and you shorted it and I got out around here like 62, 63, was it? Because don't ask me, I just have this thing with shorts, but I can't look at the chart like I do with a long. And plus I'm very much perma bullish. You can make serious bank, right? You can make serious bank. So same thing here. If I catch a long here, imagine how much it goes up by 4k. How much do you think alts are going to go up by? Crazy amount. So that's it, guys. That's all I've got for this video. I'll quickly look at the dominance chart while we're here. So dominance, like I said, still within that region. This is what I want to see. I don't want to see any kind of, you know, movement from around here. As far as I'm concerned, I want this to come out with a 58.59 level and then, you know, come back, not that high, but, you know, I want it to come above a bit, break out, show that Bitcoin has the dominance, is breaking out, is willing to make all-time highs, because we're very, very close now. And then alt season can basically ensue. That's what we're looking at. That's where we're looking at. And again, we've broken out of this trend line right here. So for us to come back down, you know, we could see resistance when we come back down, which is alt season. And it might come back up and then we have the full shot. Remember, alt season is fast. People keep failing to remember this. It's only 4 or 5 months of pure, utter violation. Even from here. 4 or 5 months here. 3 to 4 months. So you only get... when it starts fast. And it starts very violently. And really, the higher we go, the dominance, the better for alt season. Because, look, that alt season was crazy. 71 down to 39. If we go here 57 to 41, it's not really a true alt season, in my opinion. I don't think that's a true alt season. Like, we've not really had an amazing alt season. Like, this was the alt season that we had back when it was just posting mad numbers, right? And the dominance was still high. So imagine what the true alt season will be when it actually rains down and it nukes down this chart. Anyway, guys, I've been waffling on a bit too much. This is what I'm looking at. Hope you guys enjoyed and you're positioning yourselves. And remember, one coin to rule them all. That's all you need.